that big old cube? I was going to say cube. That's a sphere.
It's a golf ball of ice. Okay.
You're fancy
I like
today.
it.
What?
Paige, I am.
You're that lady. She's that lady.
You got your pinky out when you sip it, though.
I can't. I have to hold this thing.
It's a goblet.
I need every finger
I can do
to help. Yes.
to the side. Okay, this is my episode, right?
Couple beers in you. We'll get some food, a little more food. Yeah.
I appreciate your optimism. Yeah. Welcome to Beer and Fear. This is the 89th episode of that show I just said. My name is Paige.
My name is Zach.
My name is Ali. Her name is Erica.
Okay. Gracias.
This episode is on the Sentinelese people.
Those people.
Yeah, them's guys.
Have you heard about the Sentinelese before?
Well, you explained them to her already.
Yeah. You just said what the topic's about.
Thank God, I lost my train of thought. Mm-hmm. Tell me about your week. Well, 2
More
weeks
like
ago.
2 weeks.
I mean, we still have to do another episode, so just do...
Because it's been forever. Or like half of a week.
Just half a week.
It's not going to have anything to talk about in the other one?
Yeah.
We talked about my CT. We went to Pride. We talked about that.
Did we?
I'm pretty sure.
Did we talk about that in Warren Jeffs?
Yeah, because the last episode was Warren Jeffs. We talked about Pride.
Was Pride 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago?
Pride was Sunday the 26th. It is now the 15th. Huh. So yeah, we talked about Pride for sure. We went to Pride. Celebrated my dad's birthday.
Yeah.
We went to a Cubs game.
How old is he now? Huh? Don't put this in. How old is he now?
I'm remembering the episode where I said my mom's age and I bleeped it out.
Yeah.
I forget. He was born in 1967. It is 22. So 5. He's 55.
Huh?
55.
555. It's very old.
555 years old. So we went to a Cubs game. That was a lot of fun. I hadn't been to a Cubs game in a while. It was Ale's first baseball game. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of what else. We'll save her for the next episode. Let me see.
Save you.
Saving
for
you.
Later.
Saving you for later. Let's see. Oh, my computer's working again.
Hooray!
Thank science.
Oh God.
Thank the science.
That made me think of what's his fucking name? Professor
Farnsworth?
Mm-hmm. From Futurama.
Thanks, science. Good news, everyone.
Oh, God.
Yeah, computer's working. What else? Oh, I bought a keyboard.
Oh.
I bought a new one for work. It's coming.
Oh.
So I bought a new keyboard with clicky switches.
You looked over there.
Yeah. So the switches will click, they'll make noise.
Yeah, your coworkers will love that.
Yeah. I bought a keycap set that's black and yellow.
Oh, fancy.
And I bought a fancy yellow braided cable for it. So I'm gonna use that at work.
Really represent them.
Along with this wireless mouse. So I will enjoy
luxury.
I will enjoy doing that more. I thought there was one more. Oh, the frickin' James Webb. He's got a telescope. Did you hear about this? The James Webb guy?
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, James Webb is dead, but James Webb, his telescope is in space. It's still going, and it's taking a lot of really high definition, really cool photos of space. Mm-hmm. And it just blows my mind that this thing can be millions of miles away and transmit high definition photos back to Earth so we can view them and put them as wallpapers on our computer. But that we are also seeing things from millions of years ago. Mm-hmm. Like the images that you see are from millions of years ago. That's not present day, because that light is taking millions of years to get to the telescope. So what you see on those pictures is from millions of years ago. Yeah.
How many times did you say millions of years ago?
Millions of times.
That's like a take a shot game.
It's ridiculous and then the vastness of it and just how much is out there makes you feel so small. It's crazy. James Webb.
Time is weird.
Thanks for your telescope. Time is weird. Time and space confuses me. How was your week?
That's a good way to segue. Time is weird. How was your week? I don't remember what I did last week or the week before that.
Last 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
You don't remember what you did?
Not often, no. Work. I'm pretty sure I did that.
I think
Almost
you did.
Consistent.
Be willing
in
to
that.
bet you worked a lot.
I cleaned. I did that.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I slept a lot.
That's also good. Catch up on your sleep.
Yeah.
I've been sleeping a lot too.
Yeah.
And depression does that.
Yeah. I did not have an eventful week that week. No, nothing exciting. I feel like I'm forgetting something very important.
Well, we've got one more episode for you to remember.
I hope I do.
Are you sick? Or just congested?
Congested.
You want some Mucinex?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hope that helps. This is your episode, so I'm excited to hear about this beer you picked out.
You peeked at it already.
Yeah. From afar.
From afar.
Made no effort to hide it from me.
I just assumed that you would honor our agreement to not look at each other's beers. I've never peeked at yours, and it just kind of feels a little rude.
Kind of feels wrong.
It does feel wrong.
Felt a little dirty.
Don't say that. Don't go there. Our beer is from Saint Laurent Brewing. Oh, he claps.
Yes.
It's called K Runner.
Oh, okay.
Don't ask me. I'm thinking of a connection still.
K Runner. Wait, so you
Don't owe when I owe.
so you just picked the beer. You don't have a connection with it.
I have like a small connection, but it's a silly connection, and I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you what it is, but I'll tell you later.
I love it. We'll
Just
figure it out.
focus on the beer for now.
Yeah.
It's a sour fruited Berliner Weiss with pineapple and passion fruit.
Okay.
I gotta wait and see why it's funny. Is it a bad funny?
Ooh. Wait, hold on. I'm more impressed by the fact that you found a Saint Laurent sour.
Yeah, me too. They've had so many DDHs lately.
Okay, no. Okay, so I looked at the beer. It looked like Blackberry Grunt
Kinda.
on the can. So that's why. Oh my god, it looks like Saint Laurent. But I'm not familiar with this one. So tell me all about it. I'm excited.
There's not a lot on it.
Is it older?
It came out June of 2021.
Okay.
So yes, it is older.
Yeah.
I honestly, the only thing I saw around it that was Saint Laurent, I think, was another India Pale Ale.
Yeah, that's all I saw was IPAs and stouts.
I didn't see anything else around it. It was just one other.
Well, I'm impressed that you found a sour by them.
I was just shocked. I had a cherry and limeade beer picked out already.
Well, we were holding out for a Saint Laurent sour, so.
We were. Do I bother going into details about Saint Laurent's history? It's been a bit. Okay. Saint Laurent is a small batch nano brewery inspired by travels and friendships made with these guys that wear really ridiculous sunglasses in their picture on their profile.
They do.
It's their name is inspired by our beginnings brewing 5-gallon batches almost anywhere. At home, at a homebrew club, or in a friend's backyard. What? These guys are so zany.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's crazy. They do not have a tap room. They don't have a tap room.
They don't have one of those.
Nope.
Whatever you just said.
A tap room.
The papa room.
But you can buy them at Benny's.
Hippopotamus.
Don't mock me.
Hippopotamus.
You know, there's a book called the Hippo or Hiccupotamus. Yeah, Hiccupotamus.
Hippopotamus.
It's about a hippo that has hiccups.
Oh. Mm-hmm. What a struggle.
Yeah, I almost said hippocampus.
The hippocampus. That's a part of your brain.
I'm sure there's books on it. Yeah, it was added. It was added to Beer Advocate in June of 2021. So I'm assuming
Around when it came out, yeah.
around when it came out.
Okay.
It doesn't have a score on Beer Advocate. It has 5 ratings though, and it gave it an average rating of 3.96. 3.96.
Okay. Decent.
Its ABV is 6%. And then it says sour ale brewed with pineapple, passion fruit, and lactose.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
Love that lactose.
I'm excited. Any sour beer with lactose makes me feel some kind of way.
What kind of way?
You don't want to know.
I'm uncomfortable. But that's it.
Okay. Wonderful. I'll get it.
Good job. Team effort.
So, let me tell you about these glasses.
Oh, okay.
In the copper mug up there for mules, I had that cat bottle stopper up there by the mortar and pestle. That was chilling in the cup. I was putting a cup away and I was moving things around, and that is heavy, so it fell out of the cup right on top of where I kept those two glasses next to the decanter in those little spots.
Oh, yeah.
Shattered the glass. I am so sick and tired of breaking glasses.
You break glasses a lot.
Yeah. So I broke one of those, and I was very upset because my mom got me that set
Yeah, I
with the two
remember.
glasses, and then what's a set with a whiskey decanter set with one glass? And it just has an empty spot there. So this wonderful woman bought a whole other set from Etsy. And it arrived, and she bought it because she wanted me to have another glass. But the decanter that came in the box is broken. So we're going to return it. And we were thinking maybe we can just keep one of the glasses and be like, it was broken and it didn't come with a glass. Do you think they'd buy that?
Maybe you could just ask for a partial refund.
Maybe. Okay. But that's the story of those glasses.
I mean, just kind of like throw like a little bit of a fit. Just be like, well, I purchased this. It came broken. Can I at least keep a glass? I'll take a partial
maybe.
refund. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
K-Runner.
Did you just invert?
We can invert, yeah.
I just saw you invert.
I didn't. Oh, I looked at the bottom here. I'm going to invert one more time.
Government warning.
Yeah, that's on there. Surprise.
Sassy.
Hugo Trejo, isn't that the same guy? The same
is.
guy has been making all this artwork for Saint Laurent.
It all looks the same, so.
It's a tugboat that's towing the face of a statue through water.
Is this too cold?
I don't think so. You think there's some ice going on?
Maybe.
Maybe. Is this a slushy beer, you think?
This is a slushy beer.
Ooh.
Ooh, that smells good.
Very sweet smelling.
I like that.
Oh, pineapple
Are we
and
gonna use
passion
these?
fruit. Huh?
Are we gonna do
Yeah.
this? Okay.
Oh, the slushy. It's slushy.
Told you it was slushy. Gotta give a squeeze. This is when you gotta milk your can, people.
Wow. Milk your can.
That sounds very disturbing.
That sounds terrible.
It smells so. Ew. It smells so good. Sorry, that was instinctual.
Ew.
That was deeply ingrained. Why drink out of weird glasses?
Yeah, why not?
Do you remember the plastic cups we drank out?
Yes. I love that. See, it can't get any more weird.
Yeah, that's true.
So the color looks like orange juice, and it's very thick
Is it orange juicy?
and opaque.
It is orange juicy.
Yeah. It does kind of have that lactose sort of look to it.
Milky?
Yeah. And the foam.
Yeah.
I've seen this
Yeah.
foam before.
Oh, God.
Very sweet. It's like a fruited milkshake IPA is what I'm about to taste, I feel like.
That's a much better clink than the pint glass.
Yeah.
Ooh. Saint Laurent, I missed you. You're so dramatic.
I am.
You were made for the theater.
I
I've said this before.
am.
You should have been a theater kid.
Yeah. And the audition? Just cracking open a can of beer and pouring it in a glass and
Reacting.
trying
I
it.
think that would really encompass all of the reactions that they would expect from an actor. Like, ooh, he emotes, he talks with his hands.
Yeah. And then I get a text and find out my brother died, and I'm just very upset and sad.
Overcome with tears,
Yeah,
but you
just
sip the beer.
defeat. Yeah.
Yeah. This is delicious.
So good.
I'm so happy.
I really missed St. Laurent.
Oh, God, yeah. Them and their weird sunglasses.
Okay, Sentinelese.
Lay it on me.
You ready, Kasota?
It'd be great if she meowed. Teach her to meow on command.
I can when she's hungry.
That sounds like torture. Sounds a little bit like Pavlov.
Kennedy was freaking out this morning.
Why?
So she's in the bedroom. We're trying to sleep.
Whole story.
Yeah, we're trying to sleep. She's making a ruckus with all this shit. So I finally kick her out. I shoo her out of the
To stop the ruckus?
Yes. Close the door. And now she's like reaching underneath the and doing like this to the door and scratching
Like
and
satanic shit.
yeah, trying to like ready to pull the door down
Yeah.
with her claws. And we're trying to ignore it. I would spray underneath the door with like water, but all the spray bottles were not in the bedroom. They were elsewhere. So we just kind of sat and dealt with it, and she was very sad.
I like your cat imitation.
Very sad meows and the
That sounded like Donald Duck.
a little bit, yeah. And then we're sleeping there, sitting, and then she jumps up on the bed. I'm like, how the fuck did you get in here?
She tore the door down.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe she finally got, or like she squeezed her little head underneath the door.
Like a rat?
Yeah.
Her bones bending.
We didn't find out until the next day, that she opened the door because she was
She wanted her to
tired.
shut up.
Yeah, she was tired of hearing the cat. We let her out again. And then I got up and went to the bathroom. And then as soon as I closed the door to the bathroom, it's just nonstop meowing. Like she's going nuts. I don't know what had gotten into her. She was crazy. Anyway.
Crazier than usual?
Yeah. The Sentinelese, also known as the Sentinelese and the North Sentinel Islanders, are an indigenous peoples, there's more than one, who inhabit North Sentinel Island in the Bay of Bengal in the northeastern Indian Ocean. So it's next to India. Mm-hmm. Designated a particularly vulnerable tribe group and a scheduled tribe, they belong to the broader area, the broader class of Sentinelese peoples. Along with the Great Sentinelese, the Jarwas, the Unga, the Shumpin, and the Nicobarese, the Sentinelese are one of the 6 native and often reclusive peoples of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Unlike the others, the Sentinelese appear to have consistently refused any interaction with the outside world. In 1956, the government of India declared North Sentinel Island a tribal reserve and prohibited travel within 3 nautical miles, or 5.6 kilometers, of it. So you can't go within 5.6 kilometers, 3 miles of this island. It further maintains a constant armed patrol to prevent intrusions by outsiders. Photography is prohibited.
That's interesting.
There is significant uncertainty as to the group size, with estimates ranging between 15, seems a little low, and 500
That's such a gap.
individuals, but mostly between 50 and 200.
Who presented these numbers?
Somewhere between 15 and 500, but likely 50 and 200.
Who did the counting?
I know one guy is just counting each one. Is it the same one? No, his hair's different. Probably what happened. The Sentinelese live on North Sentinel Island and the Andaman Islands and Indian Archipelago. I love that word. Archipelago in the Bay of Bengal. The island lies about 64 kilometers or 35 nautical miles west of Andaman capital Port Blair.
I don't know why, but nautical miles makes me laugh.
They're just miles in the water. Right?
Just water miles.
Just water miles. It has an area of about 23 square miles, or almost 60 kilometers, square kilometers, and a roughly square outline. The seashore is about 45 meters, or 50 yards wide, bordered by a littoral forest. What the fuck is that?
Lateral?
No, littoral. Littoral. It's the part of a sea, lake, or river that's close to the shore. A forest that gives way to a dense tropical evergreen forest. The island is surrounded by coral reefs, and has a tropical climate. So the appearance of the Sentinelese. One report by Heinrich Hauer described the man as 1.6 meters tall. I'm including the meters because we have listeners from the meters countries.
Okay, but say it in American.
5'3"
They're
tall.
so tiny.
Yeah, 5'3". I think that's a little bit shorter than Ale. Possibly because of insular dwarfism.
Oh my.
The so-called island effect, nutrition, or simply genetic heritage. Researchers put their height between 1.6 and 1.65 meters and recorded their skin color as a dark, shining black with well-aligned teeth. They showed no signs of obesity and had very prominent muscles. Jealous.
Oh.
I want good teeth, muscles, and no fat. No rigorous census has been conducted, and the population has been variously estimated to be as low as 15 or as high as 500. The 1971 census estimated the population at around 82, and the 1971 census 82, 1981 census at 100. How did they do a census?
That's what I'm asking.
Of this island? Did they send someone there and passed out forms?
Yeah.
Just fill this out with your personal information.
Do you have an email?
Are you married? How many children in your family, in your household? I don't know how they got these numbers. 1986, they estimated around 98. Another person estimated 21 men, 18 women. It's all over the place. I don't know.
Sounds
somewhere around there. No less than 15, no more than 500. The Sentinelese are hunter-gatherers. They likely use bows and arrows to hunt terrestrial wildlife and more rudimentary methods to catch local seafood, such as mud crabs and molluscan shells. They are believed to eat a lot of mollusks, given the abundance of roasted shells found in their settlements. They are not known to engage in agriculture. Interesting. So solely meat and seafood. Maybe some berries. But they don't plant their own shit. Both sexes wear bark strings. The men tuck daggers into their waist belts. They also wear some ornaments, such as necklaces and headbands, but are essentially naked. Usual habitations include small temporary huts erected on 4 poles with slanted leaf-covered roofs. Sentinelese appreciate the value of metal, having scavenged it to create tools and weapons, and accepted aluminum cookware left by people. But they probably lack knowledge of metallurgy, except for cold forging. What the hell is cold forging? Metal is shaped below its recrystallization temperature. So you just smash metal together?
I couldn't tell you.
Canoes
I'm
are
not
used.
a blacksmith.
Scott is.
Oh yeah.
He's making more bottle openers. He's doing a good job. Canoes are used for lagoon fishing, but long poles rather than paddles or oars propel them. They seldom use the canoes for cross-island navigation. They stay in their island. Apparently, the tribes sleep on the ground, compared to neighboring tribes that sleep on raised platforms. Because of their complete isolation. Isolation. I just invented a word. What was the word that she invented?
Isolation.
What is it? No, limitation is the actual word. Limitating. Yeah. Limitating. Ale said limitating. I laughed. Isolation. Because of their complete isolation, nearly nothing in the beginning, nearly nothing is known about the Sentinelese language, which is therefore unclassified. It has been recorded that the Jarawa language is mutually unintelligible with the Sentinelese language. Is it really weird that I have the incredible urge to play World of Warcraft with you as an undead.
It's random.
I would like to.
But
again.
I feel like I could do that.
I miss it. I miss it so much.
We
Paige.
won't do it, buddy.
I just want to roll an undead with you.
It won't happen.
There is uncertainty as to the range of overlap with the Unga language, if any.
This just makes me think of World of Warcraft.
So they're a community of indigenous people in voluntary isolation. They want to stay by themselves. They're the most isolated, I believe they're the most isolated group of people in the world. I know there's a lot of areas in like South Africa that we haven't explored, a lot of forests and tribes that live there. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, not South Africa, South America that live there. A lot of tribes that are isolated and are similar. But I think these are the most indigenous, most isolated. That's just my opinion, man.
Man.
That's just your opinion, man. Yeah, that's my section. You take it away. There's a lot of people who have visited these people for good and bad, right?
Yeah. You could say that. Yeah. In 1771, an East India Company hydrographic survey vessel, the Diligent, observed a multitude of lights. I've never really used that in a sentence before.
Multitude of lights.
Multitude. Upon the I've never been like this. That's a multitude.
A multitude of lights.
Upon the shore of North Sentinel Island, which is the island's first recorded mention. The crew did not investigate. During a late summer monsoon in October 1867, the Indian merchant vessel Nineveh foundered on the reef.
They floundered. Mm-hmm.
Of North Sentinel. All the passengers and crew reached the beach safely, but as they proceeded for their breakfast on the third day, they were subject to a sudden assault by a group of naked, short-haired, red-painted islanders with arrows that were probably iron-tipped.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, I know. Good morning, here's your biscuits.
Ugh.
Naked man. The captain, who fled in the ship's boat, was found days later by a brig, and the Royal Navy sent a rescue party to the island. Upon arrival, the party discovered that the survivors had managed to repel the attackers with sticks and stones, and I guess they don't just break bones, that they had not reappeared. The first recorded visit to the island by a colonial officer was by Jeremiah Humphrey.
Jeremiah Humphrey.
Oh, there's an accent.
Sounds like a Key and Peele character.
It does. In 1867, he recorded seeing naked islanders catching fish with bows and arrows, and was informed by the great Sentinelese that they were I don't know if it's the Jarowas? Jarowas?
I think, yeah.
Yeah. In 1880, in an effort to establish contact with the Sentinelese, Royal Navy officer Maurice Vidal Portman, that's a name.
What a name.
Who was serving as a colonial administrator to the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, led an armed group of Europeans along with convict orderlies and Andamanese trekkers.
Okay.
That's a title?
That's a mouthful is what it is.
Whom they had already befriended to North Sentinel Island. On their arrival, the islanders fled into the tree line. After several days of futile search, during which they found abandoned villages and paths, Portman's captured 6 people, an elderly man and women, and 4 children.
Why did they capture them?
The man and women and 4 children, the man and woman, died of illness shortly after their arrival in Port Blair, and the children began to fall ill as well. Portman hurriedly sent the children back to North Sentinel Island with a large quantity of gifts to establish friendly relations, and noted their peculiar idiotic expressions. Help me. You went in so confident.
Peculiarly. No. We're looking this word up.
Peculiarly.
Peculiar.
Peculiarly.
Peculiar.
There's so many L's.
Peculiary.
Peculiary.
Because it's peculiar. Peculiary. Peculiary.
That hurt me.
Fuck that word.
That hurt my tongue.
Peculiary.
I forgot where I was. I was on peculiary.
You ended off at peculiary.
That word, idiotic expression of countenance and manner of behaving. Portman visited the island again in 1883, 85, and 87. In 1896, a convict escaped from the penal colony on Great Andaman Island on a makeshift raft and drifted across to the North Sentinel Beach. His body was discovered by a search party some days later with several arrow piercings and a cut throat. The party recorded that they did not see any islanders.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. So this first group comes to shore. They get everyone sick. The adults die. The children are falling ill. They can see that they're sick. And they're like, oh, fuck, all right, fine, just leave. Just go back, infect everyone else.
Yeah. And they sent them with gifts to try and establish good relations. We killed 2 people and we got your kids sick, but here's some gifts.
Gifts infected by more illness.
We fixed the problem, right?
Yes. Everything's fine.
Material goods fill the void of human contact.
You know it.
In an 1899 speech, Richard Carnick Temple, who served as chief commissioner of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands from 1895 to 1904, reported that he had toured North Sentinel Island to capture fugitives, but upon landing discovered that they had been killed by the inhabitants, who retreated in haste upon seeing his party approach. Temple also recorded a case where a Sentinelese apparently drifted off to the Onge and fraternized with them over the course of 2 years. Fraternized. When Temple and Portman accompanied him to the tribe and attempted to establish friendly contact, they did not recognize him and responded aggressively by shooting arrows at the group. I guess that would be aggressively.
Yeah.
The man refused to remain on the island. Portman cast doubt on the exact time span the Sentinelese spent with the Unga. That sounds weird coming out of my mouth. Unga. And believed that he had probably been raised by the Unga since childhood. Temple concluded the Sentinelese were a tribe which slays every stranger, however inoffensive, on sight, whether a forgotten member of itself, of another Andamanese tribe, or a complete foreigner. Other British colonial administrators have visited the island, including Rogers in 1902, but none of the expeditions after 1880 had any ethnographic purpose.
Of course.
Probably because of the island's small size and unfavorable location. M.C.C. Bonington.
Whoa.
I'm not making that name up. A British colonial official visited the island in 1911 and 1932 to conduct a census. On the first occasion, he came across 8 men on the beach and another 5 in 2 canoes who retreated into the forest. The party progressed some miles into the island without facing any hostile response and saw a few huts with slanted roofs, eventually failing to find anyone. Bonington and his men left the island. Notably, the Sentinelese were counted as a standalone group for the first time in the 1911 census. In 1954, Italian explorer Lidio Cipriani visited the island but did not encounter any inhabitants.
Interesting.
In 1956, the Indian government declared North Sentinel Island a tribal reserve and limited travel within 3 nautical miles.
3 nautical miles, that's right.
I've never used that in a sentence either. Nautical.
Nautical miles?
Yeah.
Oh, just the word nautical?
Yeah. I'm having a nautical day. Just use words wrong. In 1967, a group of 20 people comprising the governor, armed forces, and naval personnel were led by T.N. Pandit, an Indian anthropologist working for the Anthropological Survey of India, to North Sentinel Island to explore it and befriend them. Why do people want to befriend these people? I feel like they have made it very clear.
They feel the need to do good.
I don't know if that's doing good. This was the first visit to the island by a professional anthropologist. Through binoculars, the group saw several clusters of Sentinelese along the coastline, who retreated into the forest as the team advanced. The team followed their footprints and after about 1 kilometer, found a group of 18 lean-to huts made from grass and leaves that showed signs of recent occupation as evidenced by the still burning fires at the corners of the huts. The team also discovered raw honey, skeletal remains of pigs, wild fruits, a multi-pronged wooden spear, bows, arrows, cane baskets, and other things. Metalworking was evident. The government was aware that leaving the Sentinelese in the area completely isolated and ceasing to claim any control would lead to rampant illegal exploitation of the natural resources by the numerous mercenary outlaws who took refuge in those regions. And probably contribute to the native people's extinction.
Sure.
In early 1974, a National Geographic film crew went to the island with a team of anthropologists, so many of these guys, accompanied by armed police to film a documentary, Man in Search of Man. That sounds like a Craigslist ad.
What was that guy? It was episode 69. The dude who wrote all those books.
Oh, yeah. The ones with the weird names. Yeah. Oh, my God. I wish I remembered him.
A Man in Search for Man.
That's funny. They planned to spread the operation of gift giving over 3 days in an attempt to establish friendly contact. When the motorboat broke through the barrier reefs, the locals emerged from the jungle and shot arrows at it. The crew landed at a safe point on the coast and left gifts in the sand, including a miniature plastic car, some coconuts, a live pig, a doll, and aluminum cookware.
They left a live pig.
A whole live pig. How did they get that out there so quickly? They're just like, pig! The Sentinelese followed up by launching another volley of arrows, one which struck the documentary director in his thigh. God, I hope he had good insurance. The man who wounded the director withdrew to the shade of a tree and laughed proudly while others speared and buried the pig and the doll. They left afterward, taking the coconuts and cookware. This expedition also led to the first photograph of the Sentinelese, where they were presented as people for whom arrows speak louder than words. During the 1970s and 1980s, Pandit undertook several visits to the island, sometimes as an expert advisor, in tour parties, including dignitaries who wished to encounter an Aboriginal tribe. That just seems like exploitation.
It does.
Beginning in 1981, he regularly led official expeditions with the purpose of establishing friendly contact. Many of these got a friendlier reception, with hordes of gifts left for them, but some ended in violent encounters, which were mostly suppressed. Some of the expeditions, 87 and 92, were entirely documented on film. Sometimes the Sentinelese waved, and sometimes they turned their backs and assumed a defecating posture, which Pandit took as a sign of their not being welcome. On some occasions, they rushed out of the jungle to take the gifts, but attacked the party with arrows. Other gestures in response to contact parties, such as swaying of penises, have been noted.
Oh. Oh, so, okay. So they visited the island, and then the Sentinelese swayed their penises.
Yeah.
I wonder what that means.
I'm not really sure.
It is kind of weird that every time a new person goes there, they have a different way to respond to them. Like, sometimes they're welcoming, sometimes they wave and accept them, and, there's, like, pictures of people shaking hands with them. And then other times they're just like, no, fuck you, and they're shooting arrows at your boat when you're, right by the coast. It's weird.
It's weird.
But this beer is so good.
It is very tasty. There's a couple more contacts, but I'm going to skip a couple of them and get to the, I guess, most recent ones.
Yeah.
On the 27th of January 2006, Indian fishermen Sundar Raj and Pandit Tiwari, who had been attempting to illegally harvest crabs off North Sentinel Island, drifted towards the island after their boat's makeshift anchor failed during the night. They did not respond to warning calls from passing fishermen, and their boat drifted into the shallows near the island, where a group of Sentinelese warriors attacked it and killed the fishermen with axes. According to one report, the bodies were later put on bamboo stakes facing out to sea like scarecrows. 3 days later, an Indian Coast Guard helicopter dispatched for the purpose found the buried bodies. When the helicopter tried to retrieve them, the Sentinelese attacked with spears and arrows, and the mission was soon abandoned. There were contrasting views in the local community as to whether the Sentinelese ought to be prosecuted for the murder.
That's kind of a stretch.
In 2014, an aerial expedition followed by a circumnavigation investigated the effects. That's when your ship's navigator is circumcised.
Circumnavigator.
Yeah. Investigated the effects of a forest fire. Important data was gathered, and the expedition recorded that the fire did not seem to have affected the populace. They exhibited a balance of ages and sexes with a number of young children. Friendly hand gestures were noted, but the visitors did not go very close to the island. In November 2018, John Allen Cho,
This one.
a 26-year-old American, trained and sent by the U.S.-based Christian missionary organization All Nations, what a title, traveled to North Sentinel Island with the aim of contacting and living among the Sentinelese in the hope of converting them to Christianity.
Yes. Gotta convert everyone to Christianity.
He did not seek the necessary permits required to visit the island. I didn't even know you could get permits. On November 15th, Chow paid local fishermen to take him to a point 500 to 700 meters from the island's shore, then he continued to the island in a canoe. As he approached, he attempted to communicate with the islanders and offer gifts, but retreated after facing hostile responses. On another visit, Chow recorded that the islanders reacted to him with a mixture of amusement, bewilderment, and hostility. He attempted to sing worship songs to them and spoke to them, after which they often fell silent, while other attempts to communicate ended with them bursting into laughter. Chow said the Sentinelese communicated with lots of high-pitched sounds and gestures. Eventually, according to Chow's last letter, when he tried to hand over fish and gifts, a boy shot a metal-headed arrow that pierced the Bible he was holding in front of his chest, after which he retreated again. On his final visit on the 17th of November, he instructed the fishermen to leave without him. The fishermen later saw the islanders dragging his body, and the next day they saw his body on the shore. Police subsequently arrested 7 fishermen for assisting him to get close to the island. Local authorities opened a murder case naming unknown individuals, but there was no suggestion that the Sentinelese would be charged. And the U.S. government confirmed that it did not ask the Indian government to press charges against the tribe. Indian officials made several attempts to recover his body, but eventually abandoned those efforts.
Chow.
That was just a really bad decision.
Come on, man.
Like, why would that be the thing that you do?
Convert them to Christianity? He took one look at these isolated people on this island. And he thought, these people need Jesus.
Yeah.
He goes over and a kid shoots his Bible and then he tries to sing songs.
Yeah, he really should have taken that as like
dies.
A warning. Like, hey, I saved you once, not going to do it again. If you're
God was saving his life.
Everybody gets one. I was just saying. Just seems like a poorly planned mistake.
Very interesting. I've read about these guys a few times. It's an interesting read.
Yeah.
It's perplexing.
Perplexing?
I guess.
Peculiarly?
It's peculiarly to know that there are still parts of this world that have been unexplored by people. That people don't know what they look like.
Once you start talking about that, that's when you get into like can you imagine how much the ocean hasn't been explored?
Yeah.
That always comes up.
Yeah, same thing. It's wild. We think we've seen it all, but there's still a lot of this world that no one has laid eyes on. Well, no one has reported to lay eyes on. We've got these tribes that are undiscovered walking around, and then you got assholes like us thinking they need Jesus. Just leave them the fuck alone.
That's fair. What did you think of the beer?
I loved it.
Yeah, me too.
I really missed Saint Laurent. I know we got one more beer left, but I might drink this whole thing just because it's that good.
It's rather tasty.
I know we were talking about wanting to do Saint Laurent again, but we didn't want to try like an IPA or a stout from them. We wanted another sour because all the sours we've had from them have been astounding. Just phenomenal. And this is no exception. Pineapple-y sweet, and then the lactose is there. You can definitely pick that up. It's perfect. What about you?
It's a great way to stay in shape. I thought it was very tasty, but I don't like that it like assaults my throat. with how acidic it is.
It's intense, yeah. It's a pineapple and sour.
It's very pleasant.
Yeah.
Very refreshing.
Mm-hmm. Good pick.
Thanks.
Good job.
I tried.
beerandfearcast.com is our website. All of our episodes. You feel like what?
I said, you good there?
Yeah. All of our episodes are available to listen. You can listen on our website, beerandfaircast.com. Or check us out on Spotify, Google Play Podcasts, Google Podcasts, whatever it's called, Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, those things.
TuneIn, iHeartRadio.
You're really going for the whole
Deezer,
list.
Overcast, Pandora.
People still use Pandora?
Yeah, we're on Pandora Podcasts. Everywhere you get your podcast, we're on. Just search up Beer and Fear. Or go to the listen button on our website. And then Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Stay up to date with our stuff. When we remember to post things and edit our episodes. Every Wednesday at noon. That's when our episodes should come out. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
You're in a talky mood.
I don't know. Fine. Next episode, I'll keep it short and sweet.
No. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.